What's going on, guys? Just finished wrapping up this interview with Krystal Scott of the Feisty House. She speaks about how one business evolved into her second business venture. She speaks about the importance of persistence and continuing to go. And most importantly, she really speaks to female entrepreneurs and what she's looking to do in that space to help you guys. So hope you enjoyed the interview, guys. Let's go. What's going on, guys? I am here with Krystal Elaine Scott of the Feisty House. How are you doing?
Good, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. So I'm actually really excited, especially with a lot of the female entrepreneurs that are coming up and going now. You have the Feisty House. Now, can you talk a little bit about the Feisty House? How you came up with the name, the Feisty House, and really what you were trying to do with that?
Yeah. So Feisty House is my personal blog, essentially. And basically, it's evolved so much. It's about 8 years old. I started it in grad school when I was bored one day. And the name literally just like hit me like that. Like it doesn't really mean much. I mean, after thinking about it, it's come into its own in terms of like being a place where, you know, women can be a little bit feisty and then talk about things that matter. It's kind of like home base. So I guess it makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it started out as a, you know, natural hair and fashion blog that I was doing with a friend. And, you know, over time, it's evolved into a place where I just talk about, you know, lifestyle and lifestyle of creative and entrepreneurial women. So I've interviewed up and coming and established like female entrepreneurs. And so it's really been an opportunity for me to connect with women who are really creative, who have like entrepreneurial drive. And so yeah, that's what the Feisty House is all about.
Excellent. So you said it's about 8 years old now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's huge. You know, a lot of people, you know, they're not disciplined enough to keep something sustainable, something that continues to grow and evolve over such a lengthy period of time. What allowed you to keep moving that or keep pursuing the Feisty House, you know, given the fact that it's, you know, 8 years old? Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy. So there have been moments where I felt like, okay, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore. But what kept me going is really just how much I love blogging and how much I've appreciated, you know, making connections through my blog. And I mean, honestly, it is a passion project. You know, it's not one of these blogs that's out here making tons of money. It's not a blog that has like 1 million followers, but something I love to do. I love being able to, you know, meet different types of women, encourage and inspire different types of women. And that alone is what kind of keeps me going. I mean, even up at like last night, I was like, oh man, you know, I'm trying to like start a business. Do I even have the time to still blog? And, you know, you're going to go through that, I think, with something that you've had for so long. You know, things change and, you know, kind of what you want to do and where you want to focus your attention changes. But hopefully I always have the Feisty House in some way. I think the being disciplined part just comes with how much I actually like really love it. Hey, baby girl.
Awesome. Well, that's ironic. It brings me to the next question. You know, now with the Feisty House, and you know, you have a family, married, you have a beautiful daughter. How have you been able to balance all of that?
It's I mean, it's impossible. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I also work. So I work 4 days a week. I bringing that down to 3 days a week, and eventually will no longer work full time, which will help. I mean, of course, I have to figure out some way of like making money, and that's, you know, where some of the more entrepreneurial things I want to do comes in. But you know, it's really hard. Like, babies take up a lot of time. You know, being married, just like having a relationship takes time. There's so many competing things, and so it's just a matter, I don't think necessarily of balance, because it isn't really balanced. I don't get to spend equal time on everything. But it's more just, you know, remembering the why behind, you know, why I blog, and the why behind, you know, why I want to encourage women entrepreneurs, and that makes me make the time. So yeah, I mean, maybe I don't like do cool things on the weekends. I stay home and I vlog instead. But you know, it's worth it to me because I enjoy it so much.
Excellent. You know, she's the star of the show. Actually, you know, she Maya's the star of the show. No, so I think that's important. You know, you said something very vital, especially when building something or doing something that's passion based. You said you, instead of doing things on the weekend, so to speak, going out with friends, partying, whatever the case is, you use that time to blog and really focus and put the time and energy into the Feisty House, along with the multiple things that you've been, you know, balancing and slimming down with work. So what is, obviously, doing the Feisty House for 8+ years, you've had tons of women that's probably reached out to you, that's thanked you. Is there any one person that you can remember that's been either the most inspirational to you or that said something that really meant something for you?
That's a good question. You know, I have a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, I mean, there have been quite a few instances where women that have been reading the blog since the beginning still reach out, like, to this day. That's always a huge deal because, I mean, it's 8 years of reading the exact same blog, you know? And, I mean, yeah, there are only a handful of blogs that I've even keep reading since I started, you know, blogging and everything. So I always take that to heart. I also, I made it a point to be sure that I shared my faith on my blog too. And so the best comments, I think, are those when something I'm dealing with, right? I'll post about it on the blog and just, you know, explain how either God led me through it or the fact that it's still like a difficult situation and I'm waiting for him to kind of bring me through, or share encouraging words. And when women comment and say, I'm going through the exact same thing, this was super helpful, or this post was right on time, it never ceases to amaze me how often that happens. It just makes me feel like, you know, it's all like spirit-led, which for me is really important. And so I think those are probably the most inspirational posts, or when that happens, I think that gives me tons of fuel to keep going.
What do you see the Feisty House being in the next few years, or what's your bigger plans with it, or are you trying to keep it where it is? What's the plan with the Feisty House? I mean, it's 8 years.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're continuing to blog and you're still doing things with it. So, is there, you know, somewhere that you plan on taking it a different direction? Something extra you're trying to do with it?
Yeah, you know, I've thought about how to, you know, there's the whole like turn your blog into a business thing. But for me, my blog is more an opportunity for me to share, I guess, my personality, my brand, which is, you know, creativity, spirituality, and just like supporting other women. And so my goal with the Feisty House is to keep posting there and keep making that a very transparent place, as long as I have the time to do that. And I keep, you know, mentioning not having time because I am looking to start, or I'm working on starting my own business, a collaborative co-working community for creative women that, you know, caters to women of color, but essentially provides a place where, you know, we put wellness and faith and relationship building at the center of work. So it's, you know, I finally named it. It's called The Well. And, you know, I'm just working out ways to actually get it out there, make it a thing, you know, setting up shop in a physical space in New York City. It's a little overwhelming, but I'm super excited, and it's crazy. Things have happened so, like, exactly what I have needed to happen has happened with such good timing that I know this is the direction that I'm supposed to head. So it's not necessarily like the Feisty House is becoming a business, but it's been my opportunity to kind of test different things, like what women need. And it's also been motivational for me. Like, I've shared on my blog that, you know, I was leaving my job to pursue entrepreneurship, and just the outpouring of support from the women who read it has been great. So I definitely want to keep it, even if it's not like 3 times a week or something like that. I definitely want to keep the Feisty House going, and, you know, I'm just really excited about, you know, what's to come and sharing that journey on the blog as well.
Well, so you actually, I had no idea, and maybe some people didn't, so you're actually starting a separate business called The Well. That's a collaborative space for, you know, typically, preferably women of color, to do collaborative work.
Yeah, so correct? I guess the gist of it is to have, it's a co-working space.
Working space. Okay.
But the opportunity is there for women who feel isolated in entrepreneurship to,
Got it.
really network with the other women who are there. And my dream would be to have established entrepreneurs actually provide mentoring as part of, a woman's membership in the space. So you're a member of the space and you receive mentoring from this established entrepreneur who can, show you the ropes on how to finance your business, how to think through a business plan, how to pitch to investors. So that's the big dream. And I'm trying to, I'm in the works now in terms of figuring out ways to make that happen. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on.
What brought on that idea?
A lot of it is actually feedback that I've gotten from talking to women on my blog, and then just being kind of a creative myself, and working from home also kind of spurred the idea. I mean, I work from home 2 days a week, and it can be pretty isolating. In addition, even though we're in a huge city like New York, sometimes building a network is intimidating because there's so many women doing such great things, and so, just being able to feel that confidence to reach out to someone and start a relationship, someone who's like-minded, so driven and entrepreneurial and doing something amazing. Making that first connection can seem kind of intimidating. So I thought, well, what better place to do that than, in a space where you're both working towards something great, and you can meet, collaborate, work together, work collaboratively to grow each other's businesses. I mean, the premise is really that leveraging relationships is what grows your business. It's relationships that's going to potentially get you that investor and get you in front of someone that you wouldn't be able to get in front of otherwise. Relationships with mentors that really teach you a lot about building a business without having to repeat the same mistakes that other people have made. So that's and then of course keeping faith at the center. I mean, I always say God is my business partner. Just having an environment where women can be open about their faith, open about making sure that they're caring for themselves. It's very self-care and wellness focused. I'm saying it's not really here yet, but to me it's
it's there,
right around the corner, right? So exactly. So yeah, that's really what I am envisioning, and that's kind of where the idea came up. I mean, there have been several iterations of this over the past, I'd say, maybe 6 months to a year. And it all started with a brunch series that I did in 2015. And in the second time I did it, I only did it twice, but it's called the Dream Job Brunch. And we had entrepreneurs come and actually, while women were having brunch and networking, we had a Q&A panel discussion, similar to something like this, very intimate, only about 30 to 40 women, involved.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was
for a turnout. That's
yeah,
huge.
It was great. It sold out both times. It was awesome. And I remember thinking, I just want to keep doing this. This is exactly what I want to be doing. And so that was in 2015. I, got pregnant. Maya's almost a year old at this point. And, things just slowed down. Pregnancy slowed me way down. But, that feeling and how it felt when I was doing that brunch, that never went away. So, it's basically an opportunity to have that kind of camaraderie and networking and inspiration happen on a daily basis as women are working towards launching their dream jobs and really becoming established. So yeah, that's where the idea really came from.
That's amazing. It's you started off with the Feisty House, and through the developments of your fans, so to speak, and the people who blog, they that came the idea eventually of The Well.
Yeah.
And I think that's phenomenal. I think it's a great idea. It's a great space, especially for women entrepreneurs that that need that mentorship. So I think that's definitely salute to you for that. So I don't, and I know you have mommy duties to attend to, but I do want to ask you a final question.
Sure.
So with, now that it's transitioned, because I had no idea about the well, prior to doing this. So it's beautiful to have this conversation, not only with you, but for people to hear this and understand that, when building a business, it may not be, where your final destination is,
mm-hmm.
right? A lot of people are afraid to start. They want to make things perfect, and there's no such thing as perfection. You can start one thing and completely go in an entirely different direction as you continue to be proactive and as you continue to, stay focused. So,
mm-hmm.
I guess my final question is to you before Maya,
ruins everything.
she's ready. But now, what will you tell female entrepreneurs? As far as starting a business, again, you've been doing this. You started the Feisty House with passion, off of a passion for 8 years, and that's led you to essentially this new business endeavor that you're going to take on very shortly. For someone who's looking to just start, and then not only just start to be disciplined, what would you tell them, or what did you use to continue to stay disciplined, to stay motivated, and really just pursue that from getting to the Feisty House to the well? Like, what was that thing?
Yeah. Well, I guess the first thing I would say is, remember, this is an 8-year journey. So, for some I know there's some women who say, they want things to happen right away, and it may not happen right away. So there's that. I mean, I've had tons of different ideas. I wanted to design sheets, and I wanted to coach bloggers. I mean, I've had tons of different ideas. And this one is the one that's stuck. So over the course of 8 years, I've gotten to this point. And I mean, I'm still writing a business plan. I'm still pitching it to folks. So I'd say, trust the process, trust the timing. When you have the one, I think, especially if you're praying about it, God will make it very clear that this is what you're supposed to do, right? And so I think that's also part of what will keep you driven, is that purpose. Coin the phrase, purpose-driven life. It's having a goal that's larger than yourself, and just keeping that at the forefront. Just remembering your why. I tell people all the time, is just continue to remind yourself of your why. I wrote a blog post on, that's my mic. I wrote a blog post on, finding your why, and just being able to remind yourself of that. And I read my own blog post on that whenever I start feeling less than motivated. So you're gonna stick with mic.
Hey.
So yeah, I think that's, for me, been the biggest help, is just remembering why I'm doing it. It's because I really want to encourage and motivate and inspire, entrepreneurial women. I want them to have access to people that can help them grow their business. I want them to be successful. So that's what this is, really all about. And so when it's 3 a.m. and I'm, trying to do stuff while Maya's asleep and before I go to work, that's what keeps me going.
Excellent. It's funny. I've created a series of pillars for success, and everything that you stated: trusting the process, making an impact, and discipline. Those are the 3 biggest things for me.
Yeah.
When trying to achieve something and trying to perform at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like a lot of those things you use pretty regularly, or you have used pretty regularly, to get to where you are. So thank you so much, for the time. I do appreciate it. Maya, you were a good sport. Thank you. You did an excellent job.
Falling apart at the end, but she's alright. You did good, baby. You did good.
But no, but seriously, excellent journey. Especially for my female entrepreneurs, this was a treat. It's the hardest thing to do once you start is to continue. It's to start, really. It's to stay disciplined. It's to stay focused, and really trusting what you're doing is going to work. And where you start is never where you finish. And like you said, you started with the Feisty House, and it was through your readers and through some of the brunches that you did with other women. You figured out, the well.
Right.
right? And if it wasn't for you starting the Feisty House, that may not have really
Right.
come into fruition. So start it. Make sure you start something, and you know, you may not have that idea yet or exactly what you want to do, but as you continue to progress in your journey and what you're looking to accomplish, it's amazing, you know, what can happen. And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Come back when it's a thing.
You know, no,
That'd be
definitely,
awesome.
definitely. Looks like Maya's ready. She's ready. But anyway, guys, it's been real. Thank you so much.
Thank
Krystal.
you.
Thank you. Take care, guys.